issue of financial inclusion in Zambia is quite a burning issue, quite a serious issue that the government has given a lot of prominence to. This is informed by the launch of the National Financial Inclusion Strategy, which was running from 2017 to 2022. It actually ended last year. So they are currently, all the stakeholders are currently working on the next national strategy for the next 5 years. Target is to have universal financial inclusion to have all Zambians, those at the bottom of the pyramid and those in other classes, to have access to financial services, a broad range of financial services, including pensions, including micro pensions, so that because there's that understanding that financial access and usage of financial services is an enabler to poverty reduction. We have a labor force that is predominantly informal. 68% of our labor force is in the informal economy, and our current pension system is designed in such a way that it's only accessible by those in the formal sector and not those in the informal sector. So we are talking about well over 60% of people in the labor force do not have access to pension services. Government has given that a lot of serious thought, and through the Pensions and Insurance Authority, who are the regulators of the pensions and insurance market in Zambia, conducted a feasibility study in 2021 to see how they can structure and design policies surrounding micro pensions so that the excluded can have access to pension services during their employment or the time that they're able to generate revenue or income for their households. Access to financial services for 68% of our population, which is in the informal sector, is going to reduce future fiscal stress on the government, which currently is providing or running a social cash transfer program, which started in 2003. These are monthly allowances that are paid out to close to 500,000 households in Zambia every month. These are minimum amounts that are paid to about 5 categories of people. The minimum amount which is paid out per household is about 200 kwacha, which is roughly about $10 every month. Depending on the levels of vulnerability, some households receive up to 400 kwacha per month, which is something like $20 every month. The current problem that we have is the absence of a legal framework to govern the access and usage of resources, pension schemes in Zambia, and also there's a lack of incentives for market players to go into this niche market to provide these services. So there are a lot of things that the stakeholders are working towards, especially towards the galvanizing legal framework that is going to encourage the setting up or extension of micro pensions to the Zambian population, most of all those that are in the informal sector. Findings from the feasibility study that was conducted by the Pensions and Insurance Authority in conjunction with the working group on the National Financial Inclusion Strategy, where that about 78% of those that were interviewed in the informal sector have a knowledge of what pensions are and why they're important, and about 90% of them are willing to contribute a minimum monthly amount towards their pensions. So from that indication, you can see, I think there is a good appetite or a good indicated demand that the supply side could, take advantage of. Yeah, so in terms of the enabling environment, there's a lot of work that needs to be done. Like I mentioned earlier on, there's need to have a suitable, more enabling legal framework. What we currently have is something that is supportive of the formal pensions market. So because of the peculiar nature of the informal market, there's need to have separate legal framework or regulation that will support the existence of micro pensions or the extension of micro pensions to the informal sector. Yeah, so, and then secondly also, the findings from the survey or the feasibility study that was done are that there are other rider benefits that individuals would like to have that would go with this pension, with micro pensions. What people would want to have is when they save money under a pension scheme, they want that money to not only generate needed revenue from the investments and all, they also want a portion of that money to be used as collateral, because issues of collateral in the informal sector impedes a lot of businessmen and women from accessing credit. So the big demand was that I think over 80% were saying can't a portion of their contribution be used as collateral when they want to borrow to finance their businesses. So that is something that legal framework should be able to accommodate. Then they're also looking at flexibility in terms of contributions. That is something that is not currently available. And also the minimum amounts that they are willing to pay. The minimum amount from the findings were that they're willing to pay about 80 kwacha or so, which is something like $4. I think it's something like $4 per month. Yeah, that was the minimal contribution that those that were interviewed in the 6 provinces out of 10 that participated in this study. So in terms of technology, on the other hand, Zambia has fairly done well when it comes to mobile phone usage penetration. Over 70% of our population has access to mobile phone usage. So this is something that can be leveraged on in terms of access, in terms of access to pension, micro pensions. And also we have, I think, over 70% of our population using mobile money. It's a growing phenomenon in Zambia. And most of our population are using it on a daily basis to buy and sell, merchandise. So this is something that can be on when it comes to people making their contributions. They can use mobile money, they can use mobile phones. Also, not only to make payments or make contributions or receive settlements, mobile phones can also be used for sensitization, to receive, to educate, our population on the importance of micro pensions. I think the pinBox initiative is quite a commendable undertaking. In that a country like Zambia will be able to draw experience from other countries that are fairly gone ahead of us in rolling out micro pensions. Countries like Rwanda, countries like Ghana, we have a lot of they have a lot of experience that we can draw from. We share a number of similarities to help Zambia draw experiences as we structure a legal framework to stimulate or encourage the rollout of micro pensions in Zambia. We'll draw a lot of experience. We'll know what to avoid and what not to avoid. We know what their success points have been, and see how we can also replicate such successes, and also learn from the failures that have been encountered in these countries that we share a lot of similarities with. They also have a larger informal economy like we do. And countries like in Rwanda and East Africa, they also have a very good usage of mobile technology when it comes to facilitations of transactions and all other things. That is where we are going as well.